this video, I'm going to show you how to solve for Module 6 guided lab, that is creating a virtual private cloud. Okay, so by the end of this video, you should be able to get 45 out of 45. Alright, so let's get right to it.
So this is the solution for Module 6 guided lab, that is creating a virtual private cloud. So I'm going to uncheck this terminal so that we'll be able to see these instructions. Well, all right. So to start with, you click on the start lab. So I've already started the lab. That's why my time is reducing here. So to start, to open the AWS console, you click on AWS here. Then when this happens, you click here and then you close it. Then you click the AWS again and it will automatically sign you in to the AWS management console. Alright, so let's look at the objective of the lab. So traditional network is difficult. It involves equipment, cabling, complex configuration, and specialist skills. So Amazon VPC hides the complexity and simplifies the deployment of secure private network. So this lab shows you how to build your own VPC, deploy resource, and then create private peering connection between VPCs. So by the end of this lab, we should be able to deploy a VPC, create an internet gateway, and attach it to the VPC, and then create a public subnet, and then also create a private subnet. We should be able to create an application server to test the VPC also. So let's start the lab. So by the end of this lab, this is how our architecture is going to look like. Okay, so this is how the architecture is going to look like. All right, so let's start with, we've already configured this by starting the lab. All right, as you can see, our management console have been opened here for us. Okay, so let's look at task 1. So task 1, creating a VPC. All right, so you begin by using Amazon VPC to create a new virtual private cloud. Okay, so this one explains what VPC is. All right, so in the search box in the right of services, search for VPC, and the VPC console provides a wizard that can automatically create several architectures. However, in this lab, you will create a VPC component manually. Okay, so we should open VPC here. If you don't find it here, you can search it here, VPC. Okay, and that's open here, so we click on it. And let's look at it. In the left navigation pane, choose your VPCs. A default VPC is provided so that you can launch resources as soon as you start using AWS. So there is also a shared VPC that you will use later in the lab. However, you will now create your own VPC. So you've been asked to click on VPCs. So let's look at the VPC console here. This normally doesn't take much time. Okay, so it has opened. So we should click on our VPCs. Yes, so your VPCs. Yes, we've seen them here, right? Let's drag this down a bit. All right, so let's look at it. The VPC will have a class interdomain routing, that's a CDR range of 10.0.0.0. Okay, so to start with, choose create VPC and then configure this session, these settings. So you create VPC. We are going to configure these settings. So the name tag should be lab VPC. We just copy it and then paste it here. The name tag is lab VPC. All right, and then the IPv4 CIDR is this. So we just copy it, then go to your VPC console and then paste it in here. Right. Okay, so what's next? So after that, you just choose create VPC. So you scroll down and then create VPC. All right, so we are done. So in the lower half of the page, choose tags tab. Okay, and then tags are useful for identifying resources. For example, you can use tags to identify course centers or different environment. So you go to the VPC console, um, click on your VPCs. Yes, this lab VPC, right? And then let's drag this up, choose tags, and yes, you can see that this has been assigned to the name lab VPC. All right, so choose action and then select edit VPC settings. So choose action and select edit VPC settings. All right, so this option assigns a friendly DNS name to the EC2 instance, such as this. So enable a DNS host name. So in this place, we should enable DNS host names. Okay. All right. So I think we are done, right? Yes. So when you are done, you just scroll down and then click on save. All right. So we've done that. So task 2, creating subnet. So a subnet is a sub-range of IP addresses in the VPC. AWS resources can be launched into a specified subnet. So use a public subnet for resources that must be connected to the internet. All right, so let's look at it. So to create the subnet, in the left navigation pane, choose subnet. So in the left navigation pane, choose subnet here. All right. And then choose create subnet and then configure this session. The VPC ID is lab VPC and then the subnet name is public subnet. So let's just copy it. So we are asked to go to create subnet and then this VPC ID is lab VPC and then the subnet name is what we just copied here, public subnet here, right? So with the availability zone, so we should select the first availability zone and then the IPv4 CIDR block should be this. So we just copy it. So the first availability zone and then the CIDR block is this. All right. So we are done. So when you are done, you just click on create subnet. So you scroll down and then create subnet, and it is going to create our subnet for us. All right. So let's move on. Select public subnet. All right. So we are asked to select public subnet here, and then go to actions and then select edit subnet settings. So public subnet, select public subnet, actions, edit subnet settings. All right. Then select enable auto assign public IPv4 address. Enable, we should enable this, right? When you are done, you should just save it. So you go back and then save it. All right. So we are done. Okay. The next thing is creating a private subnet. So use what we just learned to create another subnet with these settings. So we are going to create another subnet. Okay. So we just go here, create subnet, and then the subnet ID, VPC ID should be lab VPC as we've been asked to do here. And then the private, the subnet name should be private subnet. So you just copy private subnet here, copy it and then paste it here as the subnet name. So you just paste it and then for the availability zone is the first availability zone and then the CIDR block is this one, right? So you just copy it, choose the first availability zone here and then paste the CIDR block here. All right, so when we are done, we just save it, right? Save subnet. All right, so task 3, creating an internet gateway. So this is a general description of internet gateway. All right, so in this task, you create an internet gateway so that the internet traffic can access the public subnet. So in the left navigation pane, choose internet gateways. So here you choose internet gateways. All right, and then go to choose create internet gateway and then configure this session. So the name tag, configure these settings here. So the name tag is lab IGW. So copy it and then you are going to create an internet gateway. Click here, create internet gateway, and then the name tag should be this. All right, so we are done. Let's click here. When you are done, click on create internet gateway. So you scroll down and then create internet gateway. All right. So you can now attach the internet gateway to your lab VPC. So choose actions and then attach to VPC. So here you are going to choose actions and then attach to VPC here. All right. So let's see if there is something to do here. With the available VPCs, place your cursor in the search box and then select lab VPC. So here available VPCs, you select lab VPC. Okay. When you are done, you choose attach internet gateway. So you just click on attach internet gateway. Okay, so let's look at task 4, configuring route tables. So this is a general description of the route tables. If you want a detailed explanation of what the AWS services are, okay, I have videos on that, so you can check that. All right, so let's look at in the left navigation pane, choose route tables. So here you choose route tables, and then several route tables are displayed, but there is only one route table associated with lab VPC. Okay, so scroll to the right so that you can see the VPC column, then expand it. Okay, expand the width of the column so that you can see which one is used by lab VPC. So let's check the route tables. Okay, so we have several route tables here, but then let's see the one that is attached to the lab VPC. Let's refresh this and see. Okay, so let's see. The one attached to the lab VPC is the third one. Okay, you can see it here. Lab VPC is the third one. Is this one? Okay, so we've seen the one that is attached to the lab VPC. Okay, all right. So scroll back to the left and then select the route table that shows. So we know that it is the third one. So we just select it. Let's see. So in the name column, choose this icon and then rename it with private route table. So you just copy this private route table and you are going to rename it here. So you just click on this and then use that name here and click on save. Yes. So when you are done, in the lower half of the page, choose route tabs. Okay. So let's see, in the lower half, this half, choose this. Okay. Let's drag this up a bit. All right. So you've chosen that. So you create a new public route table to send public traffic to the internet gateway. So choose create route table and then configure these settings. So the name should be public route table. So I will just copy it. I'm going to create a route table. So this is create route table, and then the name should be this public route table here, right? Then the VPC is lab VPC, and then when you're done, create the lab table, the route table. So the VPC is the lab VPC. Scroll down and then create route table. Okay, so in the route tab, choose edit routes, and then you will now add route to direct internet bound traffic. Okay, so we are going to add routes. So to do that, you go to edit routes, then add routes here. All right. So the destination should be this. You can choose to copy it or you can select it there. So this, you can choose to select it or just copy and paste it here. They will all give you the same results. All right. So the target should be internet gateway, and then from the list, select lab IGW. So this one, the target should be, it's an internet gateway, right? Yes, internet gateway. internet gateway here, and then with this one we are going to choose what, the lab IGW. All right, so when you are done, you save the changes. Yes, so we are done. Then choose the subnet association tab. Okay, so let's check subnet association tab. Let's scroll down a bit and see. So choose edit subnet association and then select this with public IP. So edit subnet association, this. So let's click on it, and it said we should choose the public subnet and then save association. The public subnet, right? Yeah, you should choose the public subnet and then save association. Okay, okay, okay. So the public subnet is now public because it has a route table entry that sends traffic to the internet via the internet gateway. So this is a summary of what we've just done. So task 5, creating a security group for the application server. So a security group acts as a firewall. This is the general description of a security group. Right. So in this task, we are going to create a security group that allows users to access the application server via HTTP. So to do that, in the left navigation pane, we choose security groups. So in the left navigation pane, we are going to choose security groups here. Okay, under security, choose security groups. And then the security group name is app.sg. So we just copy it and then configure it here. And the security groups, let's see, create security group. Okay. Yeah. Then the security group name is app.sg. And then the description is allow HTTP traffic. Let's just copy that. The description is allow HTTP traffic. And then the VPC should be lab VPC. When you are done, you just create the security group. So this should be lab VPC, and then you are going to create the security group by scrolling down and then clicking on create security group. All right. So when you are done, they said we should verify the inbound rules tab. So to configure this, choose edit inbound rules. Okay, so you come to the security group page and then select the app SG security group. So select it and then go to inbound rules. Let's scroll down and then edit inbound rules. Okay, so we should add a rule and then configure the type to be HTTP. So we are going to add rule and then the type should be HTTP. Okay, and then the source type is anywhere IPv4, and then the description should be allow web access. So let's copy the allow web access. You know that the source type should be anywhere. So the source type should be anywhere, and then the description is what we have here. Okay. So when we are done, then we should just save the rule. Save rule. Yes, we've done that. Okay, so the task 6 is launching an application server in the public subnet. So to do that, go to the services tab and then search for EC2. So let's just duplicate this tab, then keep this page, then open the VPC here. Okay. So let's search EC2 here. Click on it to open the EC2 console. All right. So they said we should from the launch instance menu, choose launch instance and then configure this. So the name should be app server. So let's just copy it. Yes. It said from launch instances. Yes. So from launch instances, let's click on instances and then launch instances. And we are going to configure the name to be this. Okay. The name is app server. So we are going to paste that here. Okay. And the next thing to configure is in the list of available quick start AMI, keep the default. Okay, so we should keep the default AMI. As you can see here, we should keep this one. And then in the instance type panel, keep the default T2 micro. Let's see. Yes, the default T2 micro here, we should keep that one. And then from key pair name menu, select VOKI. So in the key pair menu, we should select VOKI. And then next to the network setting, we should click on edit, and then the name should be lab VPC, and then the subnet should be public subnet. So in the network, this part, the network settings, click on edit, and then the VPC should be lab VPC, and then the subnet should be public subnet. Okay, so we clicked on that. And then under firewall security group, choose select an existing security group. Okay, so this one, select existing security group. So you click on this one, and then the existing security group you are having is the app SG. Okay, so for common security group, select app SG. And okay, so let's go back and select the app SG, right? Okay, so in the configure storage section, keep the default settings. Okay, expand the advanced details. So we should keep this default settings and then go to advanced details, expand it. Okay, and then IAM instance profile should be inventory app row. So IAM, let's scroll down. Um, yes, this is what they are talking about. IAM instance profile should be what? Inventory app row. Okay, and then for metadata version, set v1 and v2 token optional. So let's scroll down. Yes, so this one we select. No, this is enabled, so it's this one, right? You select v1 and v2 token optional, right? Okay, and then scroll to the bottom and then paste this user data there. Okay, so you just copy everything. Wait, we have to copy everything here. Let's just first copy this and then paste it here. Okay, let's paste it here. Let's add the rest. This, and let's paste it. Okay, so we have them here. Okay, as required. And then at the bottom of the summary panel on the right side of the screen, choose launch instances. So scroll, then launch instances here. Alright, so view all instances. Choose view all instances. Let's see. Okay, it is still launching. And it said we should wait until the app server instance shows 2/2 checks passed in the status section. Okay, so let's check. It is still launching. Normally this takes time. Okay, let's check. Yes, it said this may take some few minutes, and so choose refresh icon at the top of the page every 30 seconds. So I'm going to pause the video, and then when it is done, I will come back so that we continue. All right, so let's see. They said we should view all instances. Remember, they stated here. So choose view all instances. So you just view all instances here. Okay. So this is where they said it is going to take some time. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video this status text should be 2 out of 2. Okay, so you can see that it is done checking. Okay, so this took like 5 minutes before it completed the check. Okay, so let's look at the next thing to do. So select the app server. So you go to your EC2, select the app server. Okay, and then copy the public IPv4 DNS value showing the detail, and then paste it in a new let us see. Then open a new web browser and then paste it there, and then run it to see the inventory application. So let's scroll down. This is what we have to copy and paste it in a new tab, and then click enter. So let's see if the inventory app will open, and you can see that the inventory app has opened. Okay, so as required. So I think that is all to do for this assignment. So let's submit our results and then check our grade. Let's wait a while to see our grade. Okay, so the submission is being recorded. This normally takes like maximum 1 minute to complete. Okay, so let's see. And you can see that we have 45 out of 45 here. All right, so thank you very much.